The Holy Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, considered to be the founder of the religion Islam, narrated a number of signs and prophecies about the end times. I mean, if you consider him to be the last and final prophet of God, as he is considered by the Muslims, he ought to have informed us about these end time signs, shouldn't he have? After all, he claimed to be the last one before the judgment day. So, in fact, he did. He informed his companions about many signs that were to appear before this world is brought to a close. These signs are numerous, and whole books are written on interpreting them. The most famous ones are the 10 signs that are narrated in different versions of a single narration. But as you can see, these signs are often vague and possibly metaphorical, that are not only in want of an interpretation, but have in fact always been in the throes of differing interpretations. I'd even venture so far as to say that even if they were being fulfilled right before our very eyes, there is still a lot of room to reject their fulfillment by the interpreters because of the terse and enigmatic phraseology they were described in by the Holy Prophet, peace be upon him. But here's the banger: God decided not to leave us guessing like that and topped them all off by giving us these two monumental signs that would simply be undeniable to the naked eye when they were fulfilled. These two signs come from one of the most, if not the most, authentic and well known traditions attributed to the Holy Prophet, that is known as the Hadith of Gabriel. So the Archangel Gabriel comes to the Holy Prophet, peace be upon him, as he is sitting among his companions and asks four questions from the Prophet about the fundamentals of Islam that the Prophet himself later describes as that was the Archangel Gabriel who came to teach you your religion. Since Islam was gradually revealed over a period of 23 years, and a lot of do's and don'ts kept trickling down the flagpole in bits and pieces at a time, it is imaginable that the simplicity of the fundamentals and coherence of the message became lost in the nebulous entirety of it. So God, in His infinite wisdom, sent Gabriel to make the simple yet defining characteristics of Islam stand out from the weeds in the minds of the believers. You could say, in a manner of speaking, that it was the summary of the entire message, broken down into four simple questions. You could ascertain this from the first three questions: that Islam constituted of five actions, that faith or belief entailed six beliefs, that excellence comprised of one simple attitude. But these are not the focus of this video today. What concerns us here is the final question, which was, inform me about the final hour. To which the Prophet promptly replies, the inquired knows no more than the inquirer, clearly declaring that the exact time of the hour is known by no one except God. Then Gabriel resorts to, okay then, tell me about its signs. And then the Prophet narrates the two monumental signs. The slave girl will beget her mistress, and you will see these barefoot, bare bodied, destitute goat herds competing in the tallness of buildings. Meaning that the institution of slavery will end, and the Arabs, due to unprecedented affluence, will go into this mind boggling spree of constructing the tallest of buildings, trying to outdo each other. Now we know that while the global abolition of slavery took a couple centuries to reach its final chapter, it definitively ended when every nation on earth signed the UN Charter around the mid of 20th century, and that the Arabs are deep into their wild skyscraper rush by now, holding record of some of the highest buildings in the world, and seems like they're still going strong and not done yet. But these signs are not only fulfilled, their fulfillment is an international spectacle and undeniable. Just think that this prophecy wasn't uttered at the start of the 20th century or in the few centuries leading up to it. It was uttered around 14 centuries ago, circa 630 CE. I admire this prophecy not only because it is undeniable or that it juxtaposes two separate, globally affirmable events close to each other and even gets the sequence right. I admire it also because of the way we came to know of it. The prophet did not come out of his home one day and inform people about this great find. No, it only came to the fore because someone came and asked about it. No grandstanding, no initiation. Just reflexively answered an inquirer without any grandiose posturing. Now, I am not one who thinks prophecies should be the thing that confirms or denies the authenticity of a prophet, although it is the very test prescribed in Deuteronomy 18. No, far from it. I think the veracity of any prophet should actually come from the content of his message, from how well it sits with our souls and the perception of God. That is what should be focused on when judging a religion. But prophecies aren't nothing, they are at the very least something. And when you stack them up alongside such facts as unlettered but a great literary writer, a great general, a great lawgiver, etc., accurate prophecies about events over a millennium down the line are certainly not nothing. So I want people who are not Muslims to at least ponder over it. At the very minimum, you need to have a working explanation of how Muhammad, peace be upon him, precisely described these events in rapid succession 1400 years ago if he was not a prophet of God. And then you should take a long, hard look in the mirror. If that explanation convinces you, forget about everyone else. In doing so, you might at the very least get inclined to explore Islam, and that is all that anyone can ask for.